Let's find all of the notes in Raft. Hi friends, and welcome back to Raft. The story in this game is told through a series of small scraps of paper scattered throughout various locations, and it's pretty easy to miss a note or two at any given island. So today I'm going to show you where every note is at every story location. Obviously, this video contains massive spoilers. It's pretty much as spoiler heavy as you can possibly get, but I've separated the story locations out so you can always pause and come back when you're ready for the next place. I'm going to let the characters tell their own stories via the wonderful voice acting that was added in Chapter 3, and I'll just provide visual guidance to reach the next note, with a little help when necessary. Also, these notes aren't in the exact order that they appear in your story journal, because sometimes you need to complete nearly all of a story location before gaining access to even the second note, and that makes very little sense in terms of guiding you to where all of the notes are. But without further ado, let's find every story note in Raft.
December 12th. We stopped for the night. Owl climbed the tower. Radio still works, apparently. Should be 2 weeks before we reach Celine, with the teams not responding. You might say things are a bit tense. The other facilities are underwater, so if Celine is lost, we've got nothing. And now, Sparrow's not talking to either of us. I really hope we're not the last hope for humanity. January. It's been weeks. Just me and Owl here now, stuck on this platform. Sparrow took the boat. I can't figure out why. Everything is just so secretive. I mean, I don't even know their real names. I only know the team at Celine got a prototype working and they needed more people. We were supposed to be those people. And together we would find a way out of this mess. Somehow. Owl's yelling up in the tower. Or maybe the radio picked up something. Is it you, Sparrow?
Owl's radio notes. 22nd of December. Distress call received. Balboa Island. 9th of January. Cuckoo won't accept facts. 2nd of February. Gunshots in the distance. Tangaroa City. 14th of February. Sparrow's calm. At Celine. 6th of March. Another distress call. Varuna Point. Missing child. 16th of April. Rafters dreaming of Utopia. Foolish hope.
February. We've picked up a lot of signals. Maybe someone will come and help us. We're not starving. Yet. The reactor at Celine might be the only chance we have against this endless ocean. You knew it, Sparrow. Owl thinks you betrayed us, but you must have had a good reason for leaving us here. I hope you make it to Celine. I hope you finish the reactor. For all of us.
I heard from the captain we're heading for one of the high-rises down south. I can only hope you come to your senses and follow us. You knew the city was a failure, Ruben. Why do you always have to be so stubborn? Ruben, the yacht is ill-prepared for this journey. Olof left space for a dance floor, but no space for supplies. The bottles sure found their way to the bar. As a military man, I thought Olof would at the very least be practical. Yet they're all treating it like a luxury cruise. I'm sorry, Ruben. I shouldn't have left. I saw a large rat last night. Unnervingly large. I tried telling the crew we obviously have an infestation among the lockdown supplies. They laughed at me. I miss you, Ruben.
keeps complaining about my route. If he does it again, he will be reprimanded. The crew doesn't listen to orders. I'm shocked by their undisciplined nature. Somehow, they believe rank and prestige disappeared with solid land? No, they will not be allowed to mingle among my esteemed guests, and they will certainly not be allowed further rations. They should be grateful. I am the only reason they are alive. As I've suspected, the crew is completely incompetent. Now they're claiming rats have eaten half of our supplies in a matter of weeks. I promised them increased rations if they could bring me one of these ridiculous lurkers alive. Of course, the food shortage will need to be handled. Tonight we're discussing which staff members are most suitable for termination.
But what does that mean? You can't just fire them. We're out at sea.
Hanna, you were brought to keep the engines running. That is what you...
That's one of those damn rats. What are you doing to it?
Get out! Do your job. These lurkers have potential. They were clearly once rats, now grown into something much more rabid, yet also smarter. I've already made progress on their training. With food and pain as incentives, I can discipline them. And by sharing their blood, the mutations increase. I wonder if another species would react the same. I've received a transmission from a place called Caravan town, not far from here. They have an active animal population. No longer do I need this makeshift crew. I will create true soldiers. Loyal soldiers.
Wilkstrom, it's urgent! There's mist now! We don't know how far the water's risen! The maps are useless! We need to—
The crew are planning a mutiny, Captain! It is time to act.
A mutiny? They're just trying to stay alive! Are you mad?
I gave you a chance to live! Now we have to protect ourselves from the masses. We will use the lurkers to our advantage.
Get to the lifeboats! Hurry!
Olof, you coward!
Watch out!
Cities in the blue, calling the cost of the project's realization borderline criminal and its scope outrageous at least. Despite vocal opposition, the Floating Cities project does not appear to be slowing down anytime soon. According to former General Olof Wilstrom's latest statement on the issue, we are fully aware of the strain this puts on our people. Nevertheless, our options are becoming increasingly limited. We must pull through this together, or join Stockholm beneath the waves. Wilstrom refused to comment on the rumors regarding the modification of his personal yacht. When further asked about the Floating City project's whistleblowers, Olof Wilstrom chose to terminate the interview. Reaching out to these anonymous sources, we were able to further corroborate his story.
Betrayal. Father trusts the murderers. He would leave us behind. Ha ha! We can't have that. Father has to make a decision. I know it won't be me, so I will be spared. Not enough boat for all of us. I am sorry, Errol. The guilty lay restless. We must be punished if we are to rest. "3 months ago, my sister Astrid and I were put in charge of the ranger station on Balboa. We handled the bear population and kept the relay towers operational. The next shift was meant to start weeks back, but the replacements never showed up. Henry suggested that I start writing things down after Astrid disappeared, so that I'm not feeling so lonely anymore. The kids are fighting. Oh, Astrid would have known how to make them stop. I found her wrench out by the clearing. I've been calling out on the radio. Please, I just want to talk, sis. Miranda is screaming outside. I hope her and Henry make up soon."
Papa made his mind up a long time ago. He's going after Auntie. Miranda is following, as always.
I haven't seen Errol all night. I asked Miranda, but she and Henry won't tell me anything. Oh, they're hiding something. Did they figure out there's only space for 2 of them on the boat? I've decided. I leave the triplets in charge of the remaining relay stations. Bobby will take care of the bears. Yes, it's for the best. So many memories of this place. We'll find you, sis. I promise.
Deto's scientific journal. Classified. Ma says I should write down what I think to make it stick, so I write. Caravan town is a rock sticking out from the water. It has good land to raise pigs to eat. We can fish, grow vegetables. Only downside are the hyenas, but they are usually friendly. We came here on a boat with half the rest of Jakarta. They let us stay because Ma is smart and Pa is good at welding. They say I'm just another mouth to feed. But I'll show them. See, the problem is, the water is rising, right? What if we just take away the water? Deto's scientific journal. Top secret. Sanjay says the water pump idea doesn't work because there isn't enough space in the well for all the water. Also, the neighbors complain about getting salt in their cups. They complain because they have no patience for science. I asked Pa why we can't fly to another planet without all this water. Pa just laughed. But Sanjay showed me some pictures that gave me a great idea though. Good man, Sanjay. Deto's experiment journal, attempt 733. Pa helped me weld the rocket together, and Sanjay borrowed some fireworks to get it started. Pa had to apologize to everyone for the explosion. I don't get it. It was just a test. What an overreaction. They would have taken my tools if Sanjay hadn't helped me put out the fire. Good helper, Sanjay. My name is Sanjay. I think I'm in trouble. Deto put together a diving suit using a bike and an old diving helmet. Deto put weights in it to go down, but he put in too much. Now if I leave, then no one will pump air to Deto using the bike. If I'm thrown in jail, this is proof I'm innocent. Deto's scientific journal. Underwater caches. Sanjay ran off crying as soon as they dragged me out. Very unprofessional. There's lots of debris underwater. I couldn't get anything out though. Sad. Pa forbade me from doing any more experiments. I think he's just angry because Ma got sick. Dr. Henry said she'll be okay. So it's okay. Deto's scientific journal. Monster investigation. There's a stranger in town called Olof something. Pa keeps going to his meetings. No kids allowed. But at night I got Sanjay to help me sneak onto the stranger's ship. I thought maybe he had some medicine for Ma, but Olof's boat was just filled with cages. In the cages were big rats and a very large hyena. They were so angry. Sanjay found notes talking about feeding and training them into his personal army. Sanjay thinks Olof might be a bad guy. I think I agree. Dato's adventure journal. Pa says we have to go. Ma is getting sicker, and I heard that strange man Olof shouting orders. I saw them rounding up all the hyenas in cages. Sanjay is helping separate the rafts from the rocks. I asked Dr. Henrik about Ma. He looked sick too. Told me to avoid the pigs. And Olof. Sanjay says he's scared. Smart man, Sanjay.
Speech to the rafters, 17th of May. 5th draft. Why do you think I, Olof Wilkström, left that corrupt city? Because they refused to let regular working-class folk on board. I was appalled. Why should the elite get to escape the apocalypse? They should be forced to share their luxury. Who should force them? That's right! The greatest rafters in this new southern sea! You! Take Tangaroa! Take back your future!
Sailing as one, the raft towns of Indonesia. The flooding of Jakarta has led to escaping locals creating interconnected rafts as they make their way to land. We just make do, said Pucci Reyes, one of the earlier adopters of these raft towns, when inquired by one of our reporters about their living conditions. Drifting largely on sea currents, they appear to be growing at a steady rate, raising considerable concerns with coastal authorities. A maritime hazard in the making, the foreign minister stated this morning in a public address. Despite these concerns, many believe raft towns could very well be a viable alternative. Recent rumours surrounding the construction of sanctuary towers in the southern hemisphere has only increased tensions. We sought a comment from the local government. It's been 3 days, stuck in the shack, sick as a dog. I don't think I can treat anyone in my condition, and these people know it. I asked them to leave me here. It's the pigs. For weeks they've acted erratic. I've been blind to it. I didn't even notice the butchers getting sick. It all started when Olof Wilkström arrived, and I do not see it as a coincidence.
Captain Tully ordered us to push the engines to their limits. We're trying to outrun a fleet of rafts or something. It's going to overheat the reactor. I sent a message up the tower. Tully doesn't care. I hope you're faring better, Hannah. Much better. The engines are done. People upstairs are already upset about the extreme rationing. Now we're at the mercy of the waves. And those rafts on the horizon are coming closer by the hour. I'm sealing up the reactor now. I don't care what Captain Tully says. They're screaming upstairs. After the captain opened fire on the rafters, a damn riot broke out. Some supported Tully's orders, others really did not. A smaller raft made its way into the water entrance. But there was only a kid on board. His parents were sick, I think. Poor boy isn't saying much. Tangaroa's a lost cause. We're getting out of here.
No, 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 no! The entire ecosystem is ruined. I've warned Captain Tully about this for weeks now. My contract doesn't allow me to tell anyone else, and it's eating me up inside. The banana plants won't bear nearly enough fruit, not to mention the infestations. We'll be starving by the end of the year, if not sooner.
Things have gone quiet. Security teams still go on patrols in their ridiculous golf carts, trying to keep some semblance of order. I heard the rafters let loose some type of rat. Oh, and they strapped tasers on all the butler bots. It's like some kind of dumb guerrilla war upstairs. We're fixing up a boat, but there's no engine. The Raft kid thinks we could take one of the golf cart engines. It's not a bad idea. Captain Tully and the investors are still up in the tower. I say leave them there to rot. The kid's name is Detto. How someone his age was able to reconstruct an engine like that, I'll never know. But now we've got the boat working. We'll be gathering up a few more survivors before we head off. The rafters either hid up in the apartments or left to sea. Most of them seemed sick. No wonder they were so desperate. We need to hurry. Those large rats that came with the rafters are aggressive. I say let them chew Tangaroa into pieces. I'm coming for you, Hannah. Remember the place we heard about? The sanctuary? We'll meet there. I know it. I'll see you there. Utopia.
No, sir. They haven't done anything hostile. Yes, they're still just chanting. Yes, sir, I am armed. But if I may speak freely, we are able to use the water cannons if... Yes, sir. No, sir. Tully says shoot to wound.
My name is James Tully. This is my final message. Tangaroa City was built on a purely theoretical basis, using engines that had barely been tested, held together by the sweat and tears of our crew. But we were never sustainable. I should have accepted that months ago. When the rafters arrived, I could have let them starve with us. But I didn't. The only right choice was to abandon Tangaroa to the waves. Now I will stay here, trapped in the cockpit, with 24 idiots who used to run the world. Don't worry. We'll pay for our sins before the end.
Laguna Point has all too many holes in it. It makes it easy to move unnoticed. Today, I nicked a hammer. Yesterday, I took some dried meat from the foreman's stash. It's less fun taking food, since it spoils eventually. The watch I got from the loudmouth driller was way more exciting. I want to grab something even better tonight. I heard them talking about me this morning. They call me the Grabber. It's growing on me. I moved my cache. It's higher up now, on the new floor. Right under their noses. The foreman complained about the lack of cameras. Like that would matter. I wouldn't get caught even if the walls had eyes. I'm starting to get good at this. We don't work on new floors anymore. Everyone is scared of the Grabber. There's talk about leaving before the water gets even higher. Leaving for that other construction project. The one taken over by rafters. They call it Utopia. The only Utopia I need is right here. I've started to secure the tower. As long as I live, no one will claim my treasure. No one will reach my nest. I would be bored these days if the Motherlode wasn't on the forefront of my mind. The water stole it from me. I should have acted sooner. Now there's trouble in the way. It's risky to deal with, but it might be worth it. The thought gnaws at me. But it's just one shark. How hard could it be? A man talking to dolls arrived yesterday. I found his loud discussions entertaining. Maybe I miss company a bit too. The man climbed high up into the crane with a satellite dish. He called out on his little radio for Astrid. It looked unsuccessful. I might have stolen one of his dolls. Miranda is her name. The man left an hour ago, after freaking out all day over it. So many strange people these days. When people come by, they don't stay for long. Why? Probably because I keep stealing their stuff. Today, it was a man named Ruben and a boy named Detto. They were caught in a storm and needed supplies. When they fell asleep, I nicked a whole set of tools. Good stuff, but still good. In the morning, they were so freaked out, they sailed away immediately. Hilarious.
I've already lost Miranda. I will not lose you too, Henry. Follow the signal far south. I know it's from my sister. There's no doubt. Henry is skeptical. He thinks the cold will be dangerous. I'm most scared of whatever's out there in the snowstorm. There's bears all over this frozen island. One of them completely wrecked the boat when we tried to get away. None of the usual tricks worked either. Henry and I would have been eaten if that boy with the air horn hadn't showed up. His name is Detto. Says he came here with some survivors. I asked Henry if I should trust the boy. But I didn't get an answer. The boat is ready to go. Detto is ready with the air horn, and Ruben can at least walk. Henry is staying behind. It's bittersweet. He doesn't speak with me anymore, but I think it's safer for someone to stay behind. Detto says there's a place with lots of people. Ruben says Astrid might be there. She definitely isn't here in this cold place. It's nice talking to people. Detto showed me and Henry some abandoned igloos. The boy got them open by fiddling with some cables. The big igloo is still shut, though. I wonder what's inside. Detto introduced me to a man named Ruben. He was hurt, looked like wounds from a bear attack. So I helped fix up the wounds. Astrid used to fix up my wounds the same way. Where are you, sis? That kid Detto is really smart. Using material we salvaged, he was able to fix up my boat. Ruben is recovering too, but he doesn't seem to want to talk to me a lot. Both of them stare whenever I talk to Henry. Henry doesn't like the way they look at us. I think I need to do something.
I am called Sparrow. Whoever finds this, know that I held humanity's interest first. Always. I was sent to Selene alongside 2 colleagues, one of which I discovered was a mole by the investors. Had Owl been allowed to come to Selene, the knowledge of this unlimited green energy would have been monopolized by the same people who caused this mess to begin with. The other colleague I left behind. I did not trust you, Kaku. I couldn't. It was too much of a risk. I hope you will forgive me. The Selene facility was built for one purpose: master and perfect the experimental reactors used to power the floating cities. No easy task, but it has been done, in theory. Yet, we do not have the people to construct anything but a basic prototype. It can be built for real, I know it. We just need more people. There's a place where the Rafters live in peace with any survivors of the old world. They call it Utopia. Maybe there we can begin to reverse the damage we've done. But we received a message from them yesterday. One of the investors has taken control of the community. Olof Wilkstrom. I fear his intentions with this potential haven.
Detto's Utopia journal. Super secret. I have my own raft, and it's hooked up to actual wind turbines. If I had even more power, just imagine all the experiments I could run. But now that lunatic Olof appeared, his cages are already unloaded, and now he's promising to help everyone with his army. Last I saw him, Olof Wilkstrom ruined Caravan town. I will never forgive him. I hope Han and Ruben listen to me. He's not to be trusted. Just in case, I've decided to up the security on my raft. This map should allow only the smartest of people to enter. Like me!
From the people of Utopia, do not trust Olof Wilkström. When he arrived here, we took his word in good faith. He exploited us at every turn. Now all of us, dissenters, are locked up, which is everyone by my count. To anyone reading this, Olof should be up in the marketplace. Beware of his rabid beasts. Please take the master key from him. Set us free. Set Utopia free!
And that's all of the notes in Raft. It is a complicated and involved story that I'll be covering more in future videos, so be sure to let me know down in the comments which location story you want to see an analysis of the most. Anyways, that's it for me for now. I hope you enjoyed. This video took an absurdly long time to create, so please consider leaving a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. It really helps me out. I hope to see you all again soon, but until then,